Hello, today I am going to show you how I made this middle-aged dress. This is my first time making it, so it's not perfect. Before you begin, prepare the materials and the pattern which are listed below in the description box. First, print the pattern in a 100% scale. You will have 2 pages of this. Then, cut each pattern. Take one of the pieces and trace this on top of your fabric. I am using a water-soluble marker here. Then, cut the excess fabric, giving it a few millimeters allowance. For the pattern that requires 2, make sure that you flip the pattern after you trace the first side to avoid having 2 same pieces. Next, you can sew the seams or you can glue them together. So I am not a seamstress and I don't have the talent of a DIY sewing, so I will try my best to sew it using a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can also hand stitch it or again use a fabric glue. So here's how they look like and they seem to look fine. I just need to remove all the extra threads. Take the front side pieces and lay them side by side. To sew the side, make sure that the bust area is facing outward. It should look something like this. Next, take the back piece and line it on the side of the front and side piece. Sew the correct side of the back piece to the side piece. And to make it less confusing, make sure that the tail or the long tail is facing inward. The next part is a crucial part on deciding if you want it worn by the doll or not. If you want it worn by the doll, you need to measure it again and ensure that it fits the doll. I have 2 dolls here as a sample. One is made partly of porcelain and partly foam. The original clothes she was wearing were actually glued to her body. And this other one is made of silicone. But they are both 1/12 scale, only that the silicone is much slimmer and has a smaller face. The pattern is quite big for the silicone doll, but it does fit with the other doll if you only sew or glue the back together once the doll is in. Now, let's set that aside for a moment and let's sew the sleeves. For the sleeves, turn the fabric to the wrong side and then sew the sides together. After that, you can turn it back again. For the cuff area, if you haven't sewed the seam, you can simply push it back inside, like what I am doing. Going back to the main dress, I am going to glue a lace on the hemline and the cuffs. You also have the option of sewing it. Anyway, I will only show you a short part of it, and I trust that you understand what I am saying. By the way, the fabric and the laces and any other materials that I have used are all left over from my previous project, which are not miniature related. After adding the adornment, I am going to sew the back together and then flip it to the correct side afterwards. For the sleeves, I am going to hand stitch part of it to connect to the main dress. Think of it as an off-shoulder dress. Make sure that the sleeve seams are facing down. After sewing the sleeves, I added this tassel-like lace around the shoulder area. You can also add other adornments if you like small beads or some other decorations you like. Take the two small patterns that says hennin and crown, and we are going to make a simple hennin. So glue the patterns directly into the wrong side of the fabric and then cut any excess material or any excess fabric. Next, join the edges of the hennin and glue them together to make a cone shape. Then glue the crown piece on the smaller opening of the cone. Again, cut the excess. I also added some adornment on the upper and lower edges of the hennin. And then lastly, I glued a tulle on top of the crown. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and get notified for new videos. Bye bye and see you next time.